Hi everyone, Paul Morbid here, Morbid Team Entertainment and Bolex Repair Philippines. So, those of you who have probably purchased a Fujica Z800, have one, have seen them online. When you do get it, or you have seen it, generally the variable shutter dial looks like this a good bit of the time. It's a common issue. People generally get them in. Right here. It's either happened in shipping, or the original owner or second owners, this one's been taped on obviously, have tried to turn it and they didn't read the instructions, didn't know about the instructions, and it broke. Okay? Because simply what happens is, when the red 0 right here matches with a white dot, that's for normal filmmaking, alright? But the variable shutter lock is right here, and that is what this L is for, and the arrow. So this means when you slide it over, see that how that slides over? Just like that, you slide that over, and this dial is locked. And people don't know that, and they'll turn it and break it off. And that's what's happened to this one more than likely. So, when you push it back over here, it's unlocked. Locked for here. That's locked. This is unlocked. Okay? So if it's over here, you can turn it back and forth. Your variable shutter dial. If you put it over here, it's locked and you cannot turn it. Don't do it. It'll end up just like this one. Okay. So how do you replace this? Well, you have to get a spare unit with a good one. But first we want to take this off. And when you remove this variable shutter dial right here, you want to make sure that if you need to take pictures, take pictures. And pay attention to the orientation on the underside. Okay, and remember, any mistakes you make upon your camera or upon your person and any attempt to repair your camera are on you. So here we go. Phillips Mini. I'm going to put this off to the side. These screws, of course. You put your finger here just for support. Nothing's going to fall out. The only thing you have to worry about on the underside is the orientation of the bottom part of the variable shutter dial. So when it's an R down here, that's for run. I'll pick this up for those of you who don't know, you can see it. Notice it's an R for run, this part of the dial. Okay, and you can just pick this up, lift it straight up, just like that. And when you turn this over, take a good look at it. Okay? Look at it. This part, this knob here, and this one here by the end of my pencil eraser. Okay? They must fit into these two parts down here, these two holes. The long one and the short one right up here. So if I hold it up, you can see what goes where. Okay? When you turn it over. I'll turn that around again. So when you put that in, you can see how it goes. Alright? There you are. Now in a bit when installing this, if it gives you a little bit of an issue, it's okay, because it just means that probably this is turned up here a little bit. You just need to push it back down a little bit to get it fitted in there. Okay, did you see that? This is probably pushed up a little bit, bring it down, and get it fitted back down, and then this part right here is going to move around on you as well. Okay? That's it. So we're going to go ahead and push this back down for good measure. That's way too much. About right there. But it's going to fit in anyway. Okay. So, next we need the spare part. Okay, so let's bring in a spare Z800. There we go. So here we are with a good variable shutter dial for this junk camera. So what we can do is this. First, we've got to start with a variable shutter dial lock, which is right here. Okay? So how do you get this thing off? You've seen it sitting up here like that, and you're probably wondering, how do I get this blasted thing off of here? Okay, here's how it gets off. You can take a piece of rubber strap, which is what I use. You can take one of those round pieces of rubber that you can use to take lids off of jars, that type of thing. Okay? And you put it on here, and you just press down on it a little bit. I would suggest to put some foam on your good camera when you start applying this thing on here. At any rate, take this, push down, and just start turning. Do not put the good variable shutter dial in lock like this. Don't slide it over there. In order to do this procedure, keep it unlocked, because you don't want to crack this dial. It will crack. I would also suggest taking this good part, having it 3D printed if possible. Okay? So, what we're going to do is remove the lock right here. And you can just take that rubber strap, hold this with your thumb, the variable shutter dial with your thumb, the variable shutter lock, turn it. Now, it probably just won't give it to you right away. You'll have to keep working at it, but be easy with it. Let's check here. Okay, now I've got some movement here. Alright, and you're going to see that this is just nothing more than a screw. Okay, that's what it is. Okay, so I'm going to put that off to the side. Now, here's this part. Okay, the variable shutter dial. Okay, so you're probably wondering, you're going to pull this off here and you're all good to go. Wrong answer. It's not going to give it to you. What you've got to do is, I've got to go for my trusty companion here. There you go. The hair dryer. And yes, this piece of aluminum is held on by glue. So you're going to need to reapply the other part, the other aluminum part, right here to secure it on the variable shutter dial, the one with the numbers on it. Some contact cement or some type of glue like that that's going to hold it. So what you're going to have to do is blow dry this thing off. And apply some heat to this dial with the numbers on it. Okay, is what you're going to have to do. Now, this one, on this good part, I've already checked it, and it's already moving around. So that means the glue has just broken. So what you can do is take a flathead, go right down here, and lift it straight up. Just like that, and there you go. So when I turn this around, you can see where the glue has been through the decades. See that? I have to clean that off and add some new. Alright, so let's get that out of the way. Alright, so just remember, red 0, okay, meets with the white dot up here for normal filmmaking. Okay, so that's where you know where your place is. Okay, next, let's zoom into this. There. All right. So as you can see, there are two screws here, two micro flatheads. Take your micro screwdriver here and you start turning. The variable shutter dial is going to turn, so just hold it, don't lock it. These are not magnetized, so just take them out, pull them up. There it is. They're both like that. Put those both off to the side. Do not touch any of these parts inside the variable shutter dial. Leave them alone. Alright, and the second one. And then now I can lift this part straight up, just like that. Okay? So there you see. So this part of the variable shutter dial, I'm going to dump the screw out in my hand. I'm going to show you under the variable shutter dial here. Reason being is that you're going to have to add some lubrication later. You can see where some old lubrication is right here at the end of my pencil eraser. I have to remove that and add new. And for those of you who are not frequented to my channel, it has to be a special type of lubrication. You just can't use any type of lubrication at all, or it's going to eat this plastic, liquefy it, make it crack, etc. And whatever you do, don't put WD-40 on here, or you're going to ruin your camera. Okay, next. If I can find my Phillips. There it is. We go to this part of the variable shutter dial. Two mini Phillips, 1 and 2 at the end of my pencil eraser. The black one, so we're going to go ahead and start these. You can hold down here on the R section and you start turning. Put these off to the side. Again, when you go in here, remember the orientation of how this part of the variable shutter dial is removed, and underneath it. Pick it up, pull it up, flip it over. You'll see the same thing. Right? At the end of my pencil erasers, you see the same type of situation. See there? You can also see it's dirty, so we'll have to clean it as well. Clean it with some alcohol, at least 87%. And I would not blow down inside of here. It's just going to blow dust and debris inside of your camera and wiring. We'll have to get into that at some point in time and later. There's also some rust. We'll have to clean that off. This is all typical, a camera of this age. And we're good here, so I would not go into any in-depth and taking that off. Alright, there's some rust right here, but we can get that off with pretty much about anything. Alright, so put that variable shutter dial part off to the side. Alright, lift the camera up. Again, we can see the orientation. Here, by run, and this hole here. Alright? So now we're about home free. Now we've got to switch cameras to the good one. I would definitely highly suggest foam blocks to protect your camera's cosmetics when you're doing these repairs from the table. Alright, put you back on here. Okay, next it's cleaning with alcohol. Nothing less than 87%, as that's just water. I use 99. I'll start adding some of the stuff in here, getting it clean, rust free, and lubricated. Basically, yes, a CLA on the variable shutter dial. So, my flathead screwdriver, we can see what's going on. Put it right here. Start wiping this around onto the sides, right in there. Push it back for a while. You can see all the dust and dirt and everything there. Alright, so let's go ahead and start cleaning that. See there? All that dirt over the years and everything. Alright, so if you move that down in there, just move it back. Wow. A lot of dirt. Putting my screwdriver right here so it won't move around really. Alright. Another Q-tip. Move everything around here so I can get it clean. Back to the back side, around the sides of this arm. Right in there. See the dirt. And I think this is going to take a file. You can see it already. There's a little bit of rust right here. This is a diamond file. Camera repairs, just about any type of repairs, you will need it. You can lightly remove stuff. And that's what we're doing here, is lightly removing some rust. You don't want this to go any further. Another reason of getting in here and catching this type of thing. Alright. So from what I can see, that's doing quite well. Okay. Now there's some other things here that need to be cleaned that maybe the camera can't see. So I'm going to go ahead and address that. Off to the left, where you see run, single frame, and record. RC stands for record, by the way, if you have the extension cable. And I'll go ahead and take care of this. There's some dirt in there. Alright, around this, get back up there. Alright, the part itself. Starting with a variable shutter dial. So I'm going to go ahead and clean this here. Down inside here. There's a lot of dirt around by the plastics. Remove that excess. Microfiber cloth. Another application of alcohol. Even in areas like this, you want it clean. Probably seen some rust. I've seen it too. Alright. Microfiber cloth. Here's my diamond file. There we go. Lay it down flat. You can see how this stuff starts to remove the rust. And try some metal cleaner as well. Generally this does the trick. Because this rust right here is really embedded. Pretty much at any rate. Circular motion here helps. See there? It already started eating to the metal. Again, this is why when you get a camera, you want to get it to send it to a technician for a full CLA. Clean, lubed, and adjustment. Alright. Some dirt here, basically. Take that off. See how this is? It's tedious work. but not half as tedious as that of Super 8. All right. Alcohol on that. No two ways around it. Okay. Get that port there. Next, I'll clean along in here. This area of the variable shutter dial. Moving any type of debris, including glue and old lubricant that has penetrated up through. Alright, other than that, we're looking good here. Underneath, here we go. Here's where we need the special lubricant, right there. You can see it shining. Let's remove the old stuff off. Been there a long time. Right. All right, and so what type of lubricant do we use on that? Well, I'll have to explain that to you. We use, for those of you who do not frequent my channel, white lithium grease number 2. This is the one right here. White lithium grease number 2. And I'll show you the reason being why. Zoom out. This is for use in well, let's see, that's that. Trying to find it. It's on here. Ah, on the other side. Quality grease formulated with high quality special type of mineral oils thickened with lithium 12 hydroxy. Alright. Designed for use in rolling and sliding parts of precision machine tool, textile machinery, universal grinder, plastic gear, and moving parts and toys. So this is specially made for plastic gears. If you use anything else, it's going to deteriorate, soften, and crack your gears and your plastic parts. So again, we want to use this and not anything like WD-40. This is what you want to use. So let's crack it open and start going on it. You also want to make sure you use latex gloves with this stuff, because the white lithium grease is dangerous and harmful to the skin, and it also puts that, states that on the container. It gets into the pores of the skin. Here I'm not wearing them. As I've said before, do as I say, not as I do, I suppose. We're just going to put just a bit around here. Just enough to lubricate what you need to do. And the workings. Alright. So that's that. When you finish putting this stuff on, getting your camera together, wash your hands. You don't want to get this stuff in the pores of your skin, your eyes, anything like that. It's just nasty stuff. It can cause real problems. Alright. So we're going to bring you back down to R, which you can see right there. I'll show you this kind of close up. Push this back up to single frame. Okay, that part. Bring this to R, and you should be about ready to go. Notice that orientation. You're still going to have to make an adjustment, so. And your adjustments will be here. You'll know when it goes on. You're looking at this part, this arm, and this arm at the end of my pencil eraser. But it'll just slide in there. Alright. So, again, get yourself some white lithium grease. Number 2. I've just seen some dust. There we go. And we're going to put it around here. Right. Okay. All right, there we go. Right here. Remember the orientation by my finger. And we're going to start sliding this in here. Okay, next you'll have to set this part of the variable shutter dial, these 2 prongs here, 1 and 2. You have to keep trying to match them up with these 2 parts, these 2 holes right there, alright? So, in doing so, you just turn your camera to the side. Is what you're going to do. I tend to turn this part down. Stick it right in that slot right there. You'll see it go in. Alright. And once that one's in at the bottom, then the one at the top will just slide right in. Alright. Move it around a bit. Yep, I'm in at the bottom. I'm in at the top. Okay. Next, just going to secure the screws here, of course. 1 and 2, just a couple of light fixations. You don't want to get any tighter, it can crack this dial. Once again, have it 3D printed if you can. 1 and 2. Alright, there we are with that. Next, the dial itself, the variable shutter dial, flip it over. Just like so, we have it prepared. And the whole deal here and here with a lubrication. Alright. Put that on top of there just like so. And I'm going to match everything up. You have 2 screw holes here is what you want to match up. Remember, one here and one at the bottom with this hole and this hole. Alright. So you can get a kind of a tug like that. It's going to bottom out, going to lock. So, alright, now you're back to your screws that are not magnetized. They're flathead, so micro mini. Drop it in there. Okay, so let's get down in here. These are kind of slippery. 1 and 2. Not too tight on those, remember. You don't want to end back up in the same situation. All right, run. Is this on lock? Oh no. Okay, run, single frame, record. Record. Single frame, run. Right. Variable shutter dial, feels good. Nice and smooth. Okay. So next we got to clean this off. Start with this. You can clean this off with just about anything. And since that is so, I'm going to clean this off and get back to you with the finished product. And by the way, for those of you who do want to see this with the diamond file, okay, with this glue right here, it is kind of gooey, so you can just go around here and just clean it off. And as you're going to see, it's just removing quite easily. Just wanted to show you, just for the sake of showing you. Okay, so as you can see, I put the contact cement on here, and this is what I use. It's good stuff, and I use it on a lot of applications. Turn the dial with the numbers on it to the red 0. It has to be facing the white dot. And just drop it right in there. Just like that. Get it positioned and right in there. And then you're ready to go. just like so in there. Alright, so there we go. Gotta make sure that's completely set on there to my taste. Alright, as far as I'm concerned, I'm looking good. Gonna press down on it a little bit. Make sure everything's secure. Rub it around there, just like so. Okay. Good deal. Hold it in. This glue takes 15 seconds to dry, by the way. Next, the variable shutter dial lock right here. This is it, guys. Okay. Drop it right on there. Let's clean this dirt off. Get that screw started in. I use the rubber strap to get it tighter on there because this metal here on the variable shutter dial lock can cut your thumb when putting it on there. That's why I use this. I can turn this with my fingers till I see it stopping. The variable shutter dial lock. And then I take this rubber strap and I can give it 1, 2, 3, 4 light turns and I'm on there. Okay, that's it. So there we have it. Run, single frame, record, single frame, run, and then there we go, got the new part on. Alright, so we have 0 with a red dot to the red 0, all the way to the white dot, all the way to C for closed. Alright, and then you can check that out via the viewfinder. Okay, I've just put the batteries in it. Battery check. There you go, right on the green right there. And let's take a listen and a look. Here we are at my thumb at the dial. Okay, and there we go. So if you're doing this yourself, that's how you successfully replace a broken variable shutter dial. Okay, and there we go. Okay, I do wish to point out that when you have a Single-8 Fujica Z2, a model such as this, the variable shutter dial and the variable shutter lock are going to be slightly different. Flip this over and I want to show you. Okay, and we're going to zoom in. There we go. So as you can see here, I mean, all the Fujica Single-8 models are going to be slightly the same, essentially, but here you have the lock over to the opposite side. Okay, so here it's unlocked. Push it to the L there, and now it's locked, so it won't move. In addition, what I really want to show you is this. Let me get a real close-up on it. Take a good look at it. On a model such as this, there are 2 notches at the end of my pencil eraser. 1 and 2 on each side, okay? So what you'll have to do, it's much better and easier to take off if you have a pair of pliers that are round at the ends, and or what I use is my lens spanner. You can actually just take it, get this in the frame for you, and just put it right in there, just like that, and it turns. Much easier to remove the dial lock. Okay, see that? So I just want to add that tip in there for you. Okay, so there we are with the Fujica Single-8 Z800 and replacing the variable shutter dial from a cracked one to one that works. What you want to do again is make sure you get that good part and have it 3D printed. That would be the best thing to do. That way you will not have to keep seeking out these junk cameras right here. Alright? It's just best. That's the good thing to do right there. And again, all the models are pretty much the same with a variable shutter dial. Okay? Do contact me at the social media outlets provided on the screen, and remember, as always, do subscribe. Until next time, see ya!